Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the original Season 1, Episode 8, The River in Reverse. I am your host, Dom. With me, I have Michael.
Hi, I've been evicted back to my laptopy position by... Wait, which way is she?
She's below me.
That way.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Welcome back, Omikins.
Hey,
How are you?
better.
Yeah, feeling better.
She's not gonna be if she doesn't get off my computer.
Whoa! Them
That's
are
why you
fighting
buying
words.
me one.
Them are
right?
fighting words. Yeah. Yeah.
If it wasn't for sales.
Wasn't what?
If it wasn't for Black Friday sales,
Oh.
there'd be no new computer in this household.
Friday.
Go for Black Friday.
Why is it called Black Friday?
Fuck if I know.
Everybody walks out of the store with black eyes.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Oh my.
So, what do you guys think of this episode?
Quite good.
It was actually really good.
This,
I enjoyed.
this was probably my favorite episode of the series thus far.
Because of lots
I
of
have
blood
to
spilling.
agree. Yeah.
There's just so much action. There's some pretty good story, some background. Just so much happened this episode. It was incredible.
I agree.
So,
As do I.
the episode starts off. We have Tyler rounding up an army through Marcel. Rebekah kind of joins in the middle. Tyler's kind of weary with what's going on, and then it's revealed that she's, siding with Marcel, and she's got his back. And she just kind of snaps Tyler's neck. But then we don't see Tyler again for the whole rest of the episode. So what do you think she did with Tyler?
There was a scene where they took Tyler down into the catacombs, which is where they planned to put Klaus. But that's not what happened.
Right, so he's down in the catacombs, but did they seal him into a wall? Did they chain him to the wall?
They- Had to restrain him somehow.
So
Yeah.
why?
He's a hybrid running around, and he is technically more powerful than every other vampire in town.
But they
With
know
the
he's an
exception-
enemy of Klaus, so wouldn't they want to utilize him in the fight?
It's possible. He is kind of a
Well-
wild card, so...
The thing is, Rebecca's still stuck on keeping her niece safe, even though she could be a catalyst to make more hybrids. But Rebecca doesn't want anything to happen to her family, and Tyler was like, we're killing this baby.
Yeah, there is that.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the whole Rebekah in general when she went to talk to the father and kind of confess, do a confession? It seemed a little weird, right?
Not really. I mean,
You have an immortal being that doesn't actually believe in God. Why would you go for confession?
maybe she had a lot of weight on her chest, and the only way to get it out was to tell someone.
Possible. Yeah, I have nothing really. That kind of struck me as odd in the beginning.
So we had Elijah was having some flashback visions when, from the bite he suffered at the hands of Klaus. And he was having visions of this witch, Celeste. And I didn't really see too much of a significance here. So how was this significant to the overall story?
He explained that he's going to start hallucinating in his state that he was in, and yeah, this is just Hayley's taking care of him, and when she touches him, she gains glimpses of his mind, of his memories, or whatever's going on in his head at the time, and he is just hallucinating about an ex-lover of his, someone he must have really cared about a lot.
Yeah, I think Haley mentioned it. She's like hundreds of years of memories, and you remember some hot naked chick in a bathtub. Like,
Yeah, like 1,000 years of memories, and you remember, you show me this one thing. And like, who's Celeste other than some smoking hottie?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seemed kind of weird. Like, I understand maybe it was significant to him and flashback, but how is it significant to the overall story right now?
Celeste is New Orleans witch, and they are in New Orleans, and they're dealing with witches, so there might be some connection there.
Also, at this point, I think it's pretty obvious that Hayley has a thing for Elijah, and she's seeing
Mm-hmm.
an ex-girlfriend through his fever dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the little bit of significance I saw through it was that Klaus put her life in jeopardy and kind of had no respect for Elijah's wishes.
pretty
So
much.
it was kind of
Yeah.
showing that side, which I don't know. We kind of already knew that, but maybe they needed some setup on the originals because actually, now that I think of it, there hasn't been one, and I'm using memories of Klaus and Elijah and Catherine and all that. So, or even the girl before Catherine. I don't remember now. Tatia. I think Tatia was the doppelganger before Catherine, right?
Amora?
No,
No.
Amora was the very first one.
It was a
Then there another one
doppelganger
after that.
who lived like, in the same village as the original family when they were pre-vampire.
Ugh.
I don't
Okay.
remember her name,
I think
but
it was
don't
she
Tatia.
remember.
was there.
I think it was Tatia.
Something like that.
So yeah, yeah. So there, we do know of 4 Elena doppelgangers. So, well, including we have Elena, we have Catherine, we have Tatia and Amara. I'm going with Tatia. I'm almost positive. I'll look it up afterwards, but I'm pretty sure. So that's 4 we know of, and I know we're on a different show, so I don't want to go too much on a tangent here. But we have Silas, Stefan, and you really mean to tell me there's no more Stefan doppelgangers? There's got to be at least
No
2
more they
that we
went
don't know
into.
of. So I'm sure there's. Well, we'll go into this in the next Vampire Diaries. I don't want to go into this now.
Yeah,
But
they probably lived normal lives and died.
my whole point is I think there's still one lurking around because
Okay.
you have Stefan and Catherine, which were kind of together, and then Elena shows up, and you mean to tell me in all that amount of time another Stefan one wasn't born? So yeah, that's where that was going. Anyway, back to the originals. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you need to catch up on the Vampire Diaries, which is kind of where the originals were first seen. So if you like this show, definitely go watch Vampire
They
Diaries.
were originally from the Vampire Diaries, the originals.
The originals were originally
Yeah.
from the Vampire Diaries. Yes. Pun totally intended.
Question.
Next question. That would imply that I have questions for you guys. So, why do you think Hayley decided to stay with Elijah, knowing that he's going to heal because he's an original and doesn't really have to worry about getting sick or things like that? Like, yeah, we knew he was being tormented or whatever, but we also knew he was going to get over it. So why do you think she stayed with him instead of pursuing the family that she had that was running around outside the cabin?
Those motherly instincts and hormones are starting to kick in.
That, and she's got the hots for him.
Oh, yeah, totally. Steaming.
But the whole point that she came down to New Orleans in the first place was to find out about her family.
Well, right now, Elijah's probably the closest thing she has to a family, other than, the unknown ones running around in the wilderness. So she's just staying near what she knows. And then, for support. Eventually, she's going to find her family. But, Elijah is there helping her already.
Yeah. Well, we finally get to see Cami actually writing Klaus's memoirs.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of speculating whether or not that was still a thing, which it very well seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she states that Klaus is the architect of his own unhappiness. Do you think that's true?
Of course.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. I mean, she says at one point, you just keep repeating the same thing over and over again.
Does
Like in
Yeah.
different forms. Yeah, like, my family betrayed me, my family is out to get me, everybody else is out to get me.
But is that him doing that, or are they actually betraying him?
That's him. He's being an asshole. So they're, they don't trust him. So, of course,
What
they're
did
going
he-
to betray him.
What did he do in the originals that was so bad? I can understand the Elijah. He daggered Elijah.
Yes.
Okay. I can understand that one. But he did explain, maybe not to Elijah. I think he did actually even explain it to Elijah. But he at least explained to Rebekah that it was for the greater good. He did get him back. He did keep his word. He did everything he was going to say. Rebekah seemed to stab him in the back for absolutely no reason.
They have that past that they have is monumental, and she remembers every bit of everything he's done in the past. So she didn't really trust that he was being genuine.
But he was being genuine.
He was, but she
So-
couldn't tell, because you can't tell with Klaus.
In my opinion, he did nothing wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong.
So
He didn't, but they don't see it that way. They see him as the same brother that they knew hundreds of years ago. An ass.
So even
Yep.
though Klaus is trying to do the good thing here, and he's trying to be loyal to his family, they stabbed him in the back. How is he the architect of his own unhappiness in this scenario?
In this scenario, he's not, but his past actions
Hmm They
have-
were the fuel on the fire.
because when the whole thing came out that Klaus could use his baby to sire more hybrids, his past, behavior instantly, his siblings had memories of his past behavior, and it instantly triggered in their heads, ding, 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 ding. Fuck, that was
Yeah.
his plan the whole time. What an asshole.
Yeah.
So rather than thinking that he's changed and, all his stuff, which who knows, he probably hasn't.
But Elijah, of all people, should have known better. It was him trying to change Klaus's mind from the very beginning. He spent so much time and effort in the pilot episode trying to, and the backdoor pilot and the director's cut episode, whatever one you actually got to see. He spent so much time trying to change Klaus's mind. Klaus wanted nothing to do with his child, and eventually Elijah persuaded him. So how could Elijah even think that there was an ulterior motive at that point? Like, that part is what gets me the most.
There's
Yeah.
always an ulterior motive with Klaus. I mean, there may not be this time, but there always was in the past, and that's what he remembers. I mean, that's the only reason why they acted the way they did towards Klaus, is because of the past. It's stupid, but I mean, they have a long past, and it's like Cami said to Klaus, you repeat everything you do. You go through this cycle, and it's vicious, and they're not going to forget that. But now it's different. If he keeps on the same track where he's going to be genuine and keep, his baby and Hayley safe because he does care, they're going to remember that.
Yes.
I guess. See, am I the only one here that's 100% behind Klaus?
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't behind
Yeah,
him.
I'm not 100% behind. I'm not a get behind him.
It's just, it's great that he's doing all this stuff now, but as far as his family remembers, Elijah and Rebekah, that he's just not ever genuine. So being that he is now, it just seems like a cover for something bigger.
Yeah. I mean, I'm behind all of them. I like the happy
I
family
mean,
moment.
I obviously see from Klaus's point of view. I mean, that's mostly the show, Klaus's point of view.
But can't you look at this in every circumstance, like, go back as many times? Because if this is the case now, you're saying that this is a repeating part of history. It seems to me that his siblings are always the one to do something to betray him. And he retaliates. Maybe he retaliates in a way that he shouldn't, but he's always doing it because of their actions.
No, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that that's how they react to the situation that happens. He goes and he tells a lie about the witches, and he gets Elijah's hottie killed. So Elijah's going to react in a violent way. There's always a trigger for how Klaus, how Elijah, how Rebekah reacts.
Right, but we don't know.
It bounces all around.
We don't know what
And-
caused Klaus to do that in the first place. It could have been something that Elijah did to him beforehand. That Klaus retaliated that way.
It's possible. I mean, their history is so long. We don't have every bit of story. We don't have everything in the background that ever happened to them.
Right.
So, I mean, it could have been, Elijah did something, so that Klaus did it, and then Rebekah retaliated against Klaus, so Klaus decided to do something else, and then Elijah did it. We don't know. They're a crazy family.
They are. That's why I love them.
Bit nuts.
Yeah.
Klaus especially. Klaus is my favorite. I think I like Klaus more than season 1 Damon from Vampire Diaries. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. So, we get to see a lot more from the gay club boy, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of plays a huge role in helping Rebekah and Marcel set up this ambush plan. Klaus promised him that there's a daylight ring for him when he got his kingdom back. Do you think at this point, after being set up, Klaus has any idea that he was set up by Josh?
Tough to say.
It is tough to say. It could go either way with Klaus, but Klaus will know. He'll do something to see if Josh has, vervain or has been uncompelled and stuff like that. He wasn't compelled in the first place. Yes, he was. But,
He was compelled.
He was compelled. So he will find a way to find out if Josh is doing his bidding or Marcel's.
Right.
And when he finds out, then daylight ring or you're just going to die.
I hope he gets the daylight ring.
What's he going to do?
I don't know. I like Josh. I like him as a
Do you
character.
know? Okay.
Not that way. Jeez. Get your mind out of the gutter. So, when Klaus goes there, and Marcel kind of lets a whistle out, he gets these vampires to show up, and then Klaus is kind of laughing at this party he throws together. Marcel whistles again, and you have, I don't know, there's at least 50 vampires there.
Well, no, there were over 100 easily.
Was there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They were just pouring out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem like a whole lot to me, but maybe it was 100. And they start beating the shit out of him. At first, Klaus handles the first 2 or 3 with no problem. Then when they wrap him in the chains and stuff, did you guys think they were actually gonna subdue Klaus?
I thought for a second, maybe if they all, I don't know, glomped him, I guess, at once or something like that.
I think the only way they could have done it is if they restrained more than just his hands.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting those chains to come out all of a sudden.
No.
They
As
come
soon
at
as
him.
he was chained
dead
to the
vampire,
wall.
Dead vampire. Chained. I'm like, huh.
As soon as he was chained to the wall and they started smacking him with the pipes in the face and
It was just stupid. That was just making him angry. They should
Yeah,
have
but
I
wrapped
was
him
like, he's
up.
done. They got him.
That's what I thought, because last episode, the synopsis said, a deadly confrontation ends at a surprising twist. And I'm like, this is the surprising twist, that Klaus was overwhelmed after only killing 2 vampires out of this gigantic party? And then, yeah,
No.
he starts getting beat to hell, and I'm like, wow, this is just really, really. And then you see Rebekah with the dagger already going in, and I'm like, wow, this is just really sad.
They couldn't use the dagger on Klaus. We knew that
Haven't-
much.
Haven't they used a dagger
did.
previously?
They do. It
did-
doesn't work
No, it doesn't totally work, but it does immobilize him for a short period.
for
It-
10 seconds.
It hurts him. It hurted him worse before the Curse of the Moon was lifted from him.
Right.
Okay.
So
So-
now it would have no effect other than making him bleed a little bit.
I thought it would. How did they immobilize him in the end of season 3? Because I remember seeing Klaus laying in a casket, still awake.
That was a spell Bonnie had cast.
Okay, that was a spell. All right, I thought it was something to do with the dagger, but
No.
so that they know the dagger will hurt him. And I see Rebekah going in with it, and then all of a sudden, Klaus just, you see his face change and his eyes change. He goes all
Werewolf.
werewolfy Hulk mode, and she just drops the dagger, and I'm like, what? Seriously? You weren't expecting that, and now you're scared?
So before all this happened, when the army of vampires were standing there, Klaus pulls a trick out of Marcel's book and says the first one to pick up the coin gets to live. He was kind of expecting them all to run out and fight for it for him. nobody budged. But then after Klaus started slaughtering people, he was ripping hearts out, he's decapitating people.
He was going full-blown crazy.
Rebekah tells Marcel to pick up the coin, and he picks it up to stop this all.
He said he's not going to stop until every single person is dead, including you.
So do you think Marcel showed weakness by picking the coin up?
No, he was being smart because Klaus would have killed them all, and he would have just started over, and he would have been super angry, and there would have been no chance for anyone to come back from that.
Yeah.
It would have just been Klaus and Elijah in a bunk somewhere with Hayley.
Yeah. Marcel didn't show weakness there because if this didn't stop, I mean, Klaus was perfectly capable of killing everybody in that room. No contest. And it was pretty brutally obvious once he broke out of those chains. So Marcel picking up the coin kind of snaps Klaus out of it, stops the rampage, and saves quite a lot of his vampires.
Yeah. Now, do you think Marcel would have picked the coin up if it wasn't for Rebekah?
No.
I don't think Marcel was thinking about it until Rebekah mentioned it.
Yeah, he was ready to go in and attack himself.
Yeah, he was shocked and he wanted to just try to end it himself as well. But as soon as Rebekah said it, he was like, oh yeah, shit. That'll save a lot of lives.
No, not even that. It wasn't even, oh yeah, shit, I could save a lot of lives. It was like, are you friggin' serious? And then he looked back at the rampage going on and he's like, oh shit, she's totally right. God damn it.
Is it just me or when Marcel screams, it's not like frightening, it's just like, I don't even know. The roughness in his voice, it just kind of makes me cringe.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just like, enough. It's just like this. It's not even like intimidating. I don't know. If that's.
I don't think he was going. I think it was more of a get his attention by any means necessary. I don't think it was trying to be intimidation there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just. It's
that
just
was more
his yelling
fear.
voice in general. It goes right through me. It's like nails on a chalkboard. So. I don't know. But what do you think Klaus is going to do now that he has his kingdom back?
Who the fuck knows?
No idea. I mean, he's still on his throne and twiddle his fingers, because what could there be done?
Well, my question to you is, he already said he's moving back into his house. He kicked Marcel out, whatever. But does this mean the witches can start doing magic again?
Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, I don't think Davina's going to be very happy about Klaus being back in power. She cares, doesn't care for Elijah, but she tolerates him. And Marcel, she's just going to be mad. She loves Marcel because he stuck up for her when she needed him, and having Klaus being the king of the whole New Orleans area, I mean, it's probably gonna piss her off, and she's probably gonna actually go to the witches and be like, come on, we gotta do something about this.
I guess he'll let them do magic again. I mean, right now I don't see why he should change anything. Witches doing magic can only be a problem for him in the long run.
I don't think he would change anything right now, but I know Davina's gonna start something.
Yeah, she's got to. Marcel even said to Rebekah that he can't even take her out of the church attic right now. Her powers, they're just so unstable at this point. So she's got the spell book. She's been doing some stuff. We don't know if Elijah has given her any specific pages. He said when she can untie the knot, this is the last we saw her. When she could untie the knot, she could have any spell or anything she wanted. Mm-hmm. We don't know if she's gotten anything. We don't know if Elijah gave her anything. He was just bit, so I don't think he's been there. But as soon as she gets her hand on something, that's not going to spell some good news for Klaus, because she's going to look for something that's going to be able to subdue an original.
Yeah.
Like the reversal spell or something like that. So, I don't know. But Marcel kind of stated to Klaus the one thing that Klaus will never have is loyalty. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
Klaus is all about intimidation, violence, and blood, whereas Marcel actually made friends with his vampires and said, you know what, doing this for me will get you closer to a daylight ring, or, you'll get into my inner circle. Things like that. And he motivated them to, ascend into in their ranks and, give them more opportunities to expand on themselves. And you would think being a vampire, you're just strictly, going to drink blood or stay around at nighttime, go hide out in the daytime. But he's allowing them to live normal lives, basically. I mean, They do get run of New Orleans as long as they're careful.
Pretty much.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we have toward the end, we kind of already went into this, Klaus and his siblings having that big argument and whatever, but then Klaus leaves and he tells Hayley to get in the car, and no one there would be able to stop him from taking her out of there. Why do you think Hayley just kind of didn't even try to fight and just got up and went in the car?
Because she didn't want anyone to get hurt. Because the two people who would try to stop Klaus is Rebekah and Elijah. She likes Rebekah as a friend, and obviously she likes Elijah as more than a friend. She doesn't want to get either one of them hurt.
Yep.
And by cooperating with Klaus, it just makes it that much easier.
Why do you think Klaus wanted her to come with him in the first place?
Doesn't trust Elijah, doesn't trust Rebekah, because they went back on him. They said that he was going to use his baby for vicious means.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another trust issue.
Yeah. Probably the big final thing was Cami. Back when Cami was doing the memoirs or whatever, Klaus discovered this quote-unquote tattoo drawing that she had created, but we found out it was actually a cipher code that her and her twin brother used to have between each other, and she left herself a message. So she was able to actually sit there, go back, decipher the code out, and look Klaus Mikealson up from, what is it, the
1919.
1919? Yeah, I think so, yeah. So she looks it up, she finds an article, and she finds Klaus and Marcel, picture of them both way back then. How smart was that?
It was really clever of her, but it's something I wasn't expecting, but I knew she was going to do something like that. Because she had all her memories when Klaus was in the room and, she was in his vicinity. So, I mean, why not leave yourself a message or some sort of hint?
Yeah, I thought it was genius.
Mm-hmm. What did it say exactly?
It said Klaus 1919 and then the newspaper title.
Okay.
It said Klaus M, whatever the newspaper and the year.
Yeah.
That's what it was, so.
Okay.
What do you think Cami's gonna do now that she knows about Klaus and Marcel?
She's definitely gonna dig. Exactly what Klaus doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want her to dig. He doesn't want her to stay around and get in the crossfire, but she's definitely gonna do that.
Diggy hole.
He wants her to leave New Orleans, and it's probably not gonna happen now, is it?
No, definitely not.
Mm-mm.
I don't even think the pastor can convince her to leave at this point, and I think he knows it. Just that final scene, he's got this look as he's looking at the paper, and he's like, "Oh God."
I think he's gonna have to explain to her that he's known about them the whole time, too, and that's probably gonna piss her off even more.
Probably. Mm-hmm. So next week we have episode Reigning Pain in New Orleans, and it's raining as in
the reigning king.
Yes, not raining. It's play on words there, so I like it. It says Marcel is deeply conflicted by recent events, and he's surprised when Klaus opens up to him about some of his past indiscretions. So why do you think Klaus is opening up to Marcel at this point?
Probably.
That coin is a symbol of loyalty, and I think he's hoping that he can win Marcel back and gain some loyalty because that's one thing that Marcel said he didn't have. So if he gains Marcel's loyalty, he gains all the other vampires.
Do you think he could gain Marcel's loyalty at this point?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
No. I mean, if he does, it's going to be a long process. It's going to take longer than one season.
Yeah, that too.
What
But I
about
say nope.
what about the fact that Klaus is going to be living in his house again? That's not the same house that Marcel had the people kept up in the basement, right? That's not the same house. That's a different house.
No.
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's a different house. It was the basement of the house he was going to build for Rebekah and him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I was going to say,
Right.
what's he going to do when he finds Tyler down in the basement? But that probably won't happen because it's a different house.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, Camille tries to make some sense of cryptic messages she's come across and is disturbed when she gains some insight into Klaus's past.
Ooh.
So, yeah, she's probably going to do a lot more research on Klaus Mikealson and find some stuff she probably doesn't like. Meanwhile, in a surprising turn of events, the human faction takes matters into their own hands, resulting in a violent confrontation. Which side do you think they're fighting? Against the vampires or the witches?
I don't know.
Considering it was the hex that caused the pastor's nephew to go absolutely ape shit, that the witches are probably first in line for their vengeance.
That's a likely scenario right there.
But we also know Marcel and the pastor are not on good terms either.
Better terms than him and the witches.
Him and Klaus are on better terms than anything, which is kind of scary now that Klaus is in control.
This is true.
Yeah,
Very true.
could definitely possibly be definitely possibly. That's a new thing, right?
Possibly, definitely.
Yeah.
Possibly, definitely.
I could see it being surprise twist against the vampires. That'd
Mhm.
be
Maybe.
interesting. Because it says a surprising turn of events. So if it was against the witches, that wouldn't be very surprising, would it?
No.
So I'm calling vampires right now. Going the other way.
Alright.
Elsewhere, when Hayley learns of a plan to harm the werewolves in the bayou, she turns to Elijah and Rebekah for help. Who do you think's harming the werewolves?
Probably a plan Marcel had in action that's continuing to be carried out,
Possibly.
or it's from a third party.
Could it even be the humans?
Maybe.
It could be the humans. Could be. I mean, that would be more surprise than the vampires.
It would. I don't know why they would go after the werewolves, but at least that's something that they kind of stand a chance against.
Mm-hmm.
I feel they have a better chance against werewolves than they do vampires. That's just
Yes.
me, though. But
There are hundreds of vampires versus, who knows, like 20 werewolves, maybe?
yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
After heading to the bayou, they run into a werewolf named Eve, who has information that leads them to a shocking discovery. Everything's always shocking here. Surprising, shocking.
Shocking, surprising, unexpected.
It's like those shock tarts.
It's like,
Remember those things? They're shockingly good.
oh god.
Whole underground ruins with a civilization of werewolves that are Hayley's family.
An underground civilization of werewolves.
Yes.
I don't know, but these synopses are getting predictable, just like the Shield ones. I mean, in Shield, it's somebody's always in mortal danger. One of their team. It's like 4 or 5 episodes in a row now. And in originals, it's there's a shocking twist.
A surprising turn of events. A shocking discovery.
And
A violent confrontation.
an unexpected discovery.
I can almost,
Cryptic messages.
I can almost sympathize with the people who write synopses because there's only so much you can write about.
True.
I mean, you have to keep it as vague as possible so it doesn't give away any spoilers.
Yeah, because then you'll have
So-
people in the comments going, spoilers, spoilers.
Exactly.
Yes. Any final thoughts?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested to see what Klaus is going to do with this newfound power of his.
Indeed. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, let's see here. We have
The calendar.
We have one more week of the originals, and then they go on a break.
For a while.
And I do not believe that they come back until February or March. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's a big break.
Really? So I know Supernatural's doing a next week is the last episode, and then it's a break until January, and then they do 3 episodes, and then it's another break until like the end of February.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. We don't even know for sure how many episodes there are of the originals. We know it was for a full season. Was it 22 or 23?
I think it got picked up for a full 22.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I think Vampire Diaries and I know Supernatural and stuff, they've kind of been going in the 23 area mark. I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a 22 or a 23 episode season.
Either way, it's full season now.
Yep.
Definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get more episodes like this one, and yeah, I like to see Klaus fight. I want to see more fighting of Klaus. That was incredible.
More wolf/vampire rage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
Omikins, where can the people find you?
Behind
They
me.
can also find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
You can find me on Twitter at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all on Facebook.com and YouTube.com. ASOTV podcast. Some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. See you guys later.
Ciao.
Farewell.